welcome to Tune of the Month and happy April! Believe it or not, I am still celebrating the release of this brand new album I've got going on with three-time world accordion champion Corey Pesatoro. It's up there, it's called Unscripted. We're playing all over the place. It's been so fun to see many of you out there at our release shows and while I'm on tour with my trio playing material from the new album. So thank you for making the celebration extra celebratory. I thought I would show you guys another tune from the album. And this is, quite frankly, this is one of the most amazing tunes I've ever encountered. It's written by this absolutely insane accordion player named Emil Kroiter, who's like the master of all the things you can master. And he wrote this tune. It's called Emil's Hora. And it's this fiery Klezmer, Israeli, Romanian, like hodgepodge of fantasticness from that part of the world. And it goes like this. Thank you for stopping by and hope to see you out there on the road. And if you're ready to learn it, well, here we go. So you can hear this tune is like, there's a lot in there. There's a lot of harmony. There's a lot of really cool scales, a lot of really cool figures. Corey actually won one of his world championships with this tune. And you can see why. On our album, we do this thing where we slow it way down and then let it get faster and faster and faster as we play, which is a great tradition in klezmer dances and in Balkan dances and all that sort of thing. Just now I played it through steady, which you could also do to dance to, and we're gonna learn it steady and a little slower. So you get a chance to get your fingers around all this juicy stuff. All right, so the tune is in G minor, but as with many of the klezmer tunes that we've done before, it's using that Fragish scale with the big step and a halves in it. Right? All those klezmer modes use that step and a half. And this tune has three sections to it, A, B, and C. We play it like that, 2 A's, 2 B's, 2 C's, 2 A's, 2 B's, 2 C's, etc., etc. All right, so I'm going to play that A section through slowly so you can get an idea of how it's lying on your fingerboard or buttons or whatever it is you're playing along with. Here it goes. A section. That's the whole A section. All right, so you might notice that it does follow that construction that we're used to seeing on Tune of the Month. Part 1, Part 2, Part 1 comes back, and then there's an end. Now each part is a little bit longer than usual, and that's because this is not an 8-bar section that's repeated, it's 16, it's built double. No worries, we've seen that before. Here we go, Part 1 goes like this. kind of sounds wild, doesn't it? So that beginning scale, it's like down the G minor scale, a little leading tone. Now that part, to do that, I need to make this shape with my hand. I have a half step between my first and second finger, and then a half step between my third and fourth, right? And then a klezmer trill, which we've done in past Tune of the Months. It basically means it's a half step. And it's going to start slowly and then get faster, faster, faster. You don't just go in there, because that sounds like you're licking a wall socket or something. Start it slowly and then accelerate. Yeah. All right, so let's put it together. Part 1 starts on your low first finger. Yeah. Now you notice I've got a special bowing in there that's really important for a lot of these fast horas, and certainly for Emil's. When I land here on this down bow, I'm going to do a little retake, it's called. So I'm going down, and my next 2 pickups are also going to start down. See how I've got that little retake? I'm going back to where I started the first down bow. There's another one here. Those retakes are really important because it gives me a little bit of air time. Do it again. There are 2 retakes in this part 1. Here's 1. Here's 2. Nice. All right, so that's part 1. If you need that a couple more times, I do not blame you. Just go ahead and rewind this video. When I was first learning this tune, I had to do it over and over and over and over. So I fully expect you'll be taking full advantage of the rewind button there on your YouTube window. All right, I'm going to go on to part 2. It's the same pattern of notes, only now instead of being over that G klezmer scale, that minor-ish, it's going to now be over an F major chord. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so did you hear I put 2 pickups in there? Here's the start down the scale. And there at the end is a half. You see I have all 3 fingers there right smack together. Do it again, the F major version of this theme with 2 pickups. And down the scale, land, retake. Yeah, try it again, 2 pickups. And down the scale, retake. Retake. Not bad. Now we're going to go back to part 1. And this one is going to be part 1 prime. It's a little bit different at the end, so we're ready to go on. But it starts just like the first part. Down the scale, retake. Change. That's a nice little change, right? That's almost the biggest break we've had so far this section, right? And you get to sit there on that E flat. Let's do it again, part 1 prime. And down the scale, retake. And we're ready to go on for the ending. I have 2 pickups. catch the retake in there? That klezmer retake keeps coming back, doesn't it? All right, so here at the beginning of the end, this is where I get my true klezmer mode. Do you see how I have, as in past Tune of the Month videos of klezmer tunes, my first finger's all the way back at the nut in half position. My second finger is stretched very high. This is a step and a half here, and that's what makes that sound. Here it comes. Yeah, and I got a little klezmer trill there at the end. Nice. Do that ending one more time. It starts with a regular second finger. Now we're in klezmer mode. All right, and that's the last part to the A section. Let's put it all together. A section theme, starting in the G minor neighborhood. Retake. Retake. Klezmer trill. Same thing on the F chord. Retake. Back to part one. Retake. And down here we land. Get ready, ending. Klezmer scale. Retake. And that's the whole A section. Wow, there's a lot of retakes. There's a lot of klezmer trills. You probably want to rewind and do that a few times. You notice we're using klezmer skills that we've built over past Tune of the Month videos. So if any of these, like klezmer trill, what does that mean? If that's new to you, just go back and check those videos out. You get to learn more tunes and practice more skills, especially if this klezmer sound is new to you. All right, so we need a B section. This is my favorite. This is the one that does the little kind of roller coaster. I'll play the whole thing through so you can hear how it sits. 2, 3, 4. If you were listening with past Tune of the Month ears, you were probably really relieved to hear that ending come back from the A section. It's a cloud ending, folks. Same ending from the A section also belongs to the B section. Okay, so B section, you probably also noticed, does not do part 1, part 2, part 1 ending. This does a sequence. So this first part I think of as the one that's centered around the A. So I have a little triplet pickup. Stay here. 2, 3, 4. It's very long, the A, so you can either like super vibrate it or you can klezmer trill or do something else dramatic while you're sitting on it. Good. Notice, to get these notes, I have, again, that half finger pattern that we saw from the A section. Do it again. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all the first part. Do it again. This is the A group. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to do the same thing, but down a step. A little variation. of just holding a long note, we do this. Right? It's like a little teaser. Give that a try. Again with that step and a half. Okay. So teaser, teaser. Yeah, try it again. One more just for good measure, triplet picker. And this is the last part. Now we're down to G. Right? And lift down the scale. There's another teaser, isn't it? So this is a little bit tricky with your left hand. You can tell this is an accordion tune because a violinist probably wouldn't do this, but we can play it. I have my low fourth finger on my A string and my low first finger on my E string. And I'm going back and forth between those two. Now, what skill can I use to make that easy? Well, of course, I can glue my fingers down. Right? I'm leaving both my fourth finger and my first finger smack down on that fingerboard so they do not move, and I'm creating the rhythm by crossing my bow. And I'm ready to go for the ending. Now you already know from the A section. All right. Whew, that's a relief. Let's put the whole B section together. This is a harmonic sequence, and we start with the G minor. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. D7. Teaser, teaser. Cross your fingers. Ending you already know. Yeah, let's do it again. Repeat. One, 2, 3, 4. And that's the whole B section. All right. So we have an A and we have a B, and both of them are fairly logical. And now it's going to do a very typical klezmer thing. It's going to do a C section that is not quite like what has come before it. All right. So the C section has always, in my opinion, in the klezmer tunes, is always the most rhythmic of the sections. And this one has a bunch of offbeat work. Check it out. 2, 3, 4, 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. right. It is a lot of notes. But I got great news for you. It's mostly a broken thirds kind of pattern, which we've seen a lot in many different styles of music. The only difference is this is happening over that klezmer scale, right? So this first little bit starts on the offbeat, so you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Do that again. 3, 4, 1. So to make that work, I have my step and a half, first finger's way back at the nut, second finger's way up high, and I have, start on my second finger, odds team, evens team, odds team. Next group is the top octave of that. And to make that pattern work, this is where I have that kind of split hand where my first and second finger are half step and my third and fourth finger half step. Right? I would call this finger pattern half, whole, half. Okay, so those two parts together make up part one of this section. So it starts with the step and a half, the big wide one. 3, 4, Switch your pattern, half, whole, half. Yeah, try that much again. 3, 4, 1. Not bad. So now we want to keep going. This is the big descent. So I'm going all the way to the top of my fingerboard. And that's the one that feels really long because it goes without a rest. But you probably heard some familiar material in there. All right, so it starts out with the same broken thirds. And now it goes like the beginning of the tune. All right, check that out. Just with that big step and a half there again at the bottom of the fingerboard. All right, so if we put those together, 1. Down the scale. Not bad. Try it again from the top. This is the turnaround part 2. Pretty good. Now we go back to part 1 that we already know. Here comes the ending. It's very much the same as part 2. And it ends with that bottom. All the rest is the same. Do that ending again. 3, 4, 1. Yeah, one more time ending. 1. And that's the whole C section. Should we put it all together? I know this one's going to take a little bit of repetition to get into your fingers, switching between this big finger pattern and then this crunchy finger pattern. Roop, 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 roop. That's something that the more klezmer tunes you play, the more comfortable it will get. But for right now, let's just see if we can throw it all together. Starts with the first. You got that big stretch finger pattern at the bottom. 3, 4, 1, stretch. half, full half. Here's the turnaround. Down the scale. Back like the first part. Here comes the ending. And end it. Let's repeat. 1. 1. 1. 1. Ending. And that's the whole tune. All right. So, there's a lot in there to digest. Again, particularly if you're newer to these klezmer sounds, if you're an old-time player or a Celtic player, and these are a little bit like, wow. But like any other pattern, the more you get it in your ears and your fingers, the easier it is to start picking things up. Now, the reason I gave this tune to you in big chunks is it actually makes less sense if you chop it up further, because those fragments of melody are designed to go across 4 bars, not 2 and 2. And that's what makes the tune so cool. So even though it might feel like a lot of notes to get into your fingers in the first place, it's actually much easier to go for the longer lines and really just try and hear that harmony. If it helps you to see sheet music for this and all future tunes of the month, of course, you can go to my website, www.mariblack.com, and make sure you subscribe to my email newsletter. That's where I send out the sheet music for the current tune of the month. And so if you're already a member of that newsletter, you already have Emil's Hora sitting in your inbox. Apologies for my handwriting, but hey, we're learning by ear anyway. If you are just about to subscribe and you are a member of the future, you will get all future tunes of the month coming to your sheet music inbox. And I hope you enjoyed this tune. I'll look forward to seeing you guys out on the road somewhere. We'll play this together, or you can just gripe to me about what a big stretch that is at the bottom of your finger pattern. I won't argue with you. It is a big stretch, but it's a cool sound. Hope you all have fun with it, and I will see you next month.